When somebody's been abused, when they've been used, when they've been devalued, the hardest thing to do is to escape the pain of their past. And church, I want to tell you, we are anointed to bring restoration to broken lives.
5 years ago, my daughter went to a grocery store and she never came home. She was taken from the parking lot and she was missing for 8 days. I then began to learn the atrocities that had happened to her, what men did to her. And my heart, my mother's heart was broken. The sound of heaven touching. My daughter's perpetrator, within 5 hours after taking her, had drugged her, taken pictures of her, and was posting her for sale for sex on Craigslist. And within 12 hours, he was actively trafficking her from the Rockland area to the Bay Area. I was absolutely dumbfounded to learn that the majority of the victims of these crimes don't have a mother that's looking for them.
I say to you today, my friends, the only way that sex trafficking is going to end is that we see people as an extension of ourselves, as our brothers, as our sisters. See, I had to forgive the guy who raped my sister at 3 years old. I had to forgive the same man for molesting me when I was young.
Люди, чтущие своего Бога,
But the people who know their God
усилятся и будут действовать.
shall be strong and carry out great exploits.
Это то, что мы делаем сейчас и
This is
сегодня.
what we're doing today.
Но сегодня пришло время, чтобы люди Божьи, они объединились.
But a time has come for the people of God to unite
И они начали действовать.
and to act
И они начали говорить Богу то, чтобы Он начал действовать.
and to start asking God to move.
God is calling together an army, and guess what? It's you. So all of a sudden I started to see the trafficker, the pimp, is a little something different. He's a businessman. He's an entrepreneur. And you know what? If our culture didn't demand children be sold for sex, he'd go back to selling drugs and guns. He's got a job, usually white collar. He's got a family and kids. He goes to work every day, and he goes to church on Sunday. Our society demands it. My girls will tell you that their busiest hours are from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. when men are going home from work. They stop off, buy a child, and then show up for dinner with their family. How will you help set the captives free?
10 years ago, I was on this cliff and I decided 3 things. Number 1, I need to either run for my life. Number 2, I need to tell my wife. Or number 3, I need to take my life. And I thought all about the utility pole or the cliff or where I would do it. And I was caught. That I was going to tell my wife that I had slept with 7 prostitutes in a matter of 4 years of being married with her. I lost my virginity to a prostitute named Barbara. Then a year later it was Tammy, and then a year later it was Cece. We go to the hotel room. I'm wearing that same t-shirt from my missions trip. Ain't that ironic? My story doesn't end that way, off a cliff. I'm so emotional because that part, I feel like you guys need to pick up some stones and start throwing at me right now. But I know that that's not what Jesus says.
Jesus declares that the thief does not come except to steal, to kill, and to destroy. For the child taken into sex trafficking, the enemy comes to steal, kill, and destroy. They lose the identity of their innocence. They lose the hope that they could ever have true value in life beyond being an object of lust. See, the greatest promise of the gospel is forgiveness and restoration. The woman at the well is there. She lives under the scorn and the reproach of the people around her. But Jesus comes and identifies with her pain. He gives her back her value as an individual again. And he looks inside of her and he says, woman, there is a city on the inside of you. And God is a God of great restoration. When the son came home to the father didn't do anything except cover him and renew him and restore him. you're here tonight and you've had a hard time receiving God's restoration, receiving that complete healing for your life, then while they sing this song, I'm going to ask you just to come and find a place up here.
Lord, and I want to be what you want me to be. Often sin represents all I do. Forgive me once again.